What do you think the ECB does today? We expect rates, et cetera, but do you expect to see a form of quantitative easing by the European Central Bank as well?
We do, actually. So obviously, I think 10 basis points of a cut in the deposit rate is largely priced in. I think many market participants are expecting the same. The question is how much and if they will have quantitative easing. If they resume quantitative easing, we're expecting actually something in the range of 15 billion to 20 billion rate, which, would be, it would be a good clip, but it wouldn't necessarily make a difference to the economy. I think that's going to be the biggest challenge that the ECB has, is that no matter what they announce today, it probably will not make a difference.
If Europe does this, do you expect two things? Number one, do you expect the European equity markets to respond in a positive way? And two, if they do, would that hurt our market as investor money decides maybe it's got a little bit of a cheaper place to go where they are doing quantitative easing?
I don't know that it will necessarily cause the market to bounce. You have to remember that the European economy right now is incredibly weak. Manufacturing is very weak. Germany is extremely weak and being revised down. Italy is flirting with political crisis. All of these things sort of add up to not a great picture. The only thing that Europe really has going for it is the fact that it is cheaper. It is a much cheaper market than the United States right now. And I think, what will naturally happen in the United States is we will eventually get to a peak in the market that is probably going to be long in the tooth. And at that point, the relative value will favor Europe.
Where do you see the most value right now? Anywhere in the world, as a global traveler that you are, Gina?
Well, the unlocked value is sitting obviously in emerging markets, but that's so dependent on what happens in oil and in China. And right now the oil story looks terrible and the China story looks terribly uncertain. So that unlocked value may actually stay there for a little while longer. It's a lot cheaper than the other markets, and I think that there's more to be made there in the long term, but you would have to wait out some pain for that. I think Europe has a little closer story that would unlock quickly.